This is a tutorial for searching plants on the Natural Capital Plant Database. Dan Halsey here. This is a new version for 2016 of the search page. We have combined a number of elements into more consistent areas. On the top, you can see on this search page we have drop downs and pH, fill in the blank types for the height and spread. You can also change it to metric units in your report and your plant list if you choose, which is highly advised for people who do use the metric system. It's a great way to really speed up design and calculations. Sun requirements, soil types, all those tolerances, animal resistance are boxes to click for those specific characteristics you're looking for in plants. Also, we have root types here and slow and fast or immediate or moderate growth rate. Also, you can choose by family of plants. If you know what family it is, you can see what other types of plants are in that family also, and going by plant type. Many times we're looking for a specific shrub or tree or perennial, or as we're doing our searches and the numbers get kind of large, or just specifically decide which type of plant we're looking for at the time as we build our different tabs in the Excel spreadsheet. Also, we have zones 1 through 13 for growing in, and those are USDA growing zones. You can convert those fairly easily on the member page. It shows all the growing zones for the Royal Horticultural Society, USDA, and comparisons with Celsius and Fahrenheit. So on the membership page, when you first in the members area, that will show you the differences or how to coordinate between the USDA zones that we have and the zones that are used by other countries. But as you can see, we have the USDA zone here, Fahrenheit, Celsius temperatures, basically minimum temperatures the plants will tolerate, and then the plant ratings. So depending on where you are, we try to still use these zones here with the lowest temperature that's reached in Fahrenheit or Celsius to help you find your plants. So on the search page, back to that, at the top we have the plant characteristics, and then after we've decided that, say we're in zone 6, we usually don't do height or spread unless you actually need a certain type of plant. We have a pH of, let's say, 6.2. We want all the plants in that area, so we're fine with that. If the list gets too big, we can just go for deciduous shrubs. Right now, we'll just go for everything. Looking for all the plants in full sun, partial shade, or shade. If you only want shade plants, you would click on that. If you only want full sun plants or plants that will tolerate all three, basically full sun. But whenever you click on here, that plant requires that or is tolerant to full sun or partial shade. Drought tolerance, flood tolerance, and salt. If you are, especially in the upper latitudes, if they put salt on roads during freezing weather and all that gets snowplowed onto your boulevard or onto your land, you want to make sure that those plants are salt tolerant on the edge of the roads. Sandy, loamy soil, silty clay, wet soils, moderate soil, and dry soil, depending upon if it's lowland and wet very often, or the plants are going to have wet feet, you're going to want them to tolerate that, as opposed to a sandy soil or a loamy soil or a silty soil. If you click on loamy soil, the plants that will tolerate loamy soil will be, but they also might tolerate sandy or silty. Some plants don't like clay soil, so they won't show up if you click on clay soil for that. But put in your parameters, your site conditions for what you have and what you're trying to do. If you have animal resistance, of course, I would suggest do your full list first and then go back and see what you can find specifically for resistance to mice and gophers and such. After you've selected your plants up there, then you can come down here for ecological functions. And we're always looking for nitrogen fixers, dynamic accumulators. Keep in mind, if you click up here, it has to be both. So you want to be careful that you just click what you're looking for, because if you click nitrogen fixer and dynamic accumulator, it has to have both of those functions in order to be selected. So you're really reducing your list. So just go after one ecological function at a time as you're building your list. And then human uses. biomass, cleanser, compost. Here's food. You can click nitrogen fixer, let's just say, and food, and you will get all the nitrogen fixtures that are food, but your numbers will not be limited too much by that. So just make sure that you kind of keep your clicks to a minimum, get as many plants as you can, and then go through those plants looking for what you need at this point. So that is the search page. Things you'll want to know before you get on this page are your growing zone, the pH of your soil, what are your sun requirements, but especially what's your soil type. You're working with clay, sandy, loamy soil, silty soil. Many plants have a broad tolerance for a lot of different soils, but they specifically grow best just in one. So put your plant characteristics in, click on what type of ecological functions you're looking for, or in case you just want all the food plants, just leave that. And then at the bottom of the page there's a query button, and you can click on that and you'll get a list like this. Oh, too many plants. Okay, so we have to go back and be more specific. So if we're going to say food plants, too many plants. By the way, if you're using Safari, it will remember the information that you put in, but if you are using Firefox, you're going to have to go add all this information each time you do a search, because the browser will not remember what you had filled in here before through the cookie that it uses. So in this case, I'm going to put 6.2 clay soils. Zone is 6 in the USDA growing zone. Food plants. And now I just want the clay plants, so we'll see what happens with that. And we have 372. So now we have 372 plants to choose from. And this is your export button here. So after you get all these plants, and you can scroll through them and see all the ones that you have, going from page to page. And then or you can look through those then, or you can just click on export, and this will export it into Microsoft Excel. And it takes a little while for Excel to open up if you don't have it opened up already. And then you'll get a couple messages. One might be that there's some data loss. Another one might be that there's a different kind of file type. Mostly just kind of click through those and you should be fine. I don't know why those errors come up in different situations. But most of the time there is no loss of any information as far as we've been able to tell. There's an Excel 2.2, yeah, file data error loss, and now we'll have this open up in Excel, and one of the next tutorials will show how to format your information here once you have your list, and how that shows up in Excel for doing your plant picks and your designing. So there's our list that we had. There's the numbers, here's the common name and the scientific name. And that is how we search for plants on the plant database. Thank you.